Several online resources offer residential load calculation spreadsheets helpful for apartment renovations. Electrical Code Simplified provides a free calculator at Electricalcos Simplified. .com/free calculator/load calculations. Ask the Electrician offers a residential electrical load calculator at www.asktheelectrician. .com/residential electrical load calculator. HTML. Sparky's electrical load calculation can be found at www.sparksworld.net/load calculation. HTML. If you're using a spreadsheet with pre-populated loads that you need to eliminate, such as pool loads, follow these steps. Firstly, download the spreadsheet from the provided link. Secondly, right-click on the cell containing the pool load and select Format Cells. Thirdly, in the Protection tab, uncheck the locked box. Fourthly, enter a value of 0 or delete the existing value in the cell. Fifthly, click OK to save the changes. Alternatively, you can create a new blank spreadsheet and manually input the loads and calculation parameters. Several additional tips can improve your calculations. Use accurate square footage measurements for each room. Consider the appliances and equipment that will be used in the apartment. Consult the National Electrical Code, or NEC, for guidance on load calculations. Factor in any additional loads for future expansions or upgrades. Remember that these spreadsheets are for informational purposes only and should not be used as a substitute for professional calculations by a licensed electrician. Calculating electrical loads accurately is crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of the electrical system in your apartment. Understanding the principles behind load calculations and how to use these spreadsheets effectively will help you determine the appropriate subpanel size for your renovation project. The NEC provides detailed guidelines for calculating electrical loads in residential buildings. It outlines the specific requirements for various types of loads such as lighting, appliances, and heating equipment. Using the NEC as a reference, you can ensure that your load calculations comply with the code and that your electrical system is adequately sized to handle the expected demand. When calculating the general lighting load for an apartment, you should use the square footage of the living space. The NEC requires a minimum lighting load of 3 volt-amps per square foot. To determine the total lighting load, multiply the square footage of the apartment by 3 volt-amps per square foot. In addition to the general lighting load, you must also account for the small appliance branch circuits. The NEC requires a minimum of 2 20-amp small appliance branch circuits for the kitchen and dining areas. Each of these circuits is considered to have a load of 1500 volt-amps. Therefore, the total load for the small appliance branch circuits is 3000 volt-amps. The NEC also requires a minimum of 1 20-amp laundry branch circuit. This circuit is considered to have a load of 1500 volt-amps. When calculating the load for individual appliances, you should use the nameplate rating of the appliance in volt-amps or watts. If the nameplate rating is in watts, divide the watts by the voltage to obtain the volt-amps. For example, if an appliance has a nameplate rating of 1200 watts and the voltage is 120 volts, the volt-amps would be 1200 watts divided by 120 volts, which equals 10 volt-amps. For continuous loads, such as lighting and heating, you must multiply the load by 125%. This is to account for the fact that these loads will be operating for extended periods of time. For example, if you have a continuous lighting load of 1000 volt-amps, you must multiply it by 1.25, which equals 1250 volt-amps. After you have calculated all of the individual loads, you can add them together to determine the total calculated load for the apartment. The NEC allows for demand factors to be applied to certain types of loads. A demand factor is a percentage that is applied to the calculated load to account for the fact that not all loads will be operating at the same time. For example, the NEC allows a demand factor of 40% to be applied to the calculated load for electric ranges. This means that you only need to include 40% of the electric range load in the total calculated load. After you have applied all of the applicable demand factors, you can determine the minimum size of the service entrance conductors and the overcurrent protection for the apartment. The size of the service entrance conductors must be large enough to carry the total calculated load. The overcurrent protection must be sized to protect the service entrance conductors from overload and short circuit. Remember, using online calculators can simplify the process, but always double-check results. Ensure you have proper understanding of the NEC requirements. Incorrect calculations can lead to dangerous situations such as overloaded circuits and potential fire hazards. Seeking professional help from a licensed electrician is always recommended, especially when dealing with electrical renovations. These experts can provide accurate calculations and ensure your electrical system meets all safety standards. When selecting a subpanel for your apartment renovation, make sure it has sufficient capacity to handle the calculated load. Consider future expansion plans when choosing a subpanel. It's always better to have extra capacity than to overload the system later. Subpanels come in various sizes, typically rated in amps. The amp rating indicates the maximum current the subpanel can safely handle. Choose a subpanel with an amp rating that meets or exceeds the calculated load requirements. Also consider the number of circuits you'll need in the subpanel. Make sure it has enough spaces for all the branch circuits you plan to install. If you anticipate adding more circuits in the future, choose a subpanel with extra spaces. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. Ensure the subpanel is properly grounded according to NEC guidelines. Grounding helps protect against electrical shock and reduces the risk of damage to equipment. Consult the NEC for specific grounding requirements in your area. Use appropriate wiring methods and materials for the subpanel installation. Follow NEC guidelines for wire sizes, conduit types, and other installation requirements. Proper wiring ensures the electrical system operates safely and reliably. Before starting any electrical work, always disconnect the power supply to the circuit you'll be working on. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or components. Safety should always be the top priority when working with electricity. Consider energy-efficient appliances and lighting when renovating your apartment. Energy-efficient products can reduce your electricity consumption and lower your utility bills. Look for the Energy Star label when selecting appliances and lighting fixtures. Energy Star products meet strict energy efficiency guidelines set by the Environmental Protection Agency or EPA. LED lighting is a great option for energy-efficient lighting. LED bulbs use significantly less energy than traditional incandescent bulbs and last much longer. They also produce less heat, which can help reduce cooling costs. Smart home technology can also help you manage your energy consumption. Smart thermostats, lighting controls, and appliance monitors can provide valuable insights into your energy usage and allow you to optimize your energy consumption. Regularly inspect your electrical system for any signs of damage or wear. Look for cracked or frayed wires, loose connections, and damaged outlets. If you notice any problems, have them repaired by a qualified electrician promptly. Preventative maintenance can help prevent electrical hazards and ensure your system operates safely. Consider having a professional electrical inspection performed periodically to identify any potential problems before they become serious. A qualified electrician can thoroughly inspect your electrical system and recommend any necessary repairs or upgrades. Remember, electrical work can be dangerous if not performed properly. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. Don't take risks when it comes to electrical safety.